Mean of grouped data. The word data means information in the form of numerical figures or a set of given facts. Mean. It is the average of the numbers. If x1, x2, and so on till xn are the observations with respective frequencies f1, f2, and so on till fn, then the mean x bar of the data is x bar is equal to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus so on till plus fn xn by f1 plus f2 plus so on till plus fn. We can write it as x bar is equal to summation from I, which equals 1 to n of product between fi and xi, divided by summation from I equals 1 to n of fi. If class intervals are given, then we find the class mark as class mark equals upper class limit plus lower class limit by 2. For each class interval, we use class mark as xi in the above given formula. Example. Find the mean of the first 10 natural numbers. Solution. Given data is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sum of observations is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10 equals 55. Total number of observations equals 10. Mean is equal to sum of observations by total number of observations equals 55 by 10 equals 5.5. Find the mean of the given data. Solution. First, we find the class mark of each class interval by using the formula class mark equals upper class limit plus lower class limit by 2. In the first column, we have written the class interval, and in the second column, we have written the frequency of the respective class interval. The sum of the frequencies is 31. And then we have written the class mark for each class interval and denote them as xi, and then find the product of fi and xi. And finally, we find the mean using the formula x bar equals summation of the product fi and xi divided by summation of fi, which equals 1095 by 31, which is equal to 35. This method of finding mean is known as direct method. Mean of grouped data. Sometimes the product of xi and fi becomes too large that this method becomes quite time-consuming. To get rid from calculations, we opt for assumed mean method. Assumed mean method. The formula of mean for assumed mean method is assumed mean plus summation of the product of fi and di divided by summation of fi, where a is the assumed mean. We assumed the mean from the values of xi. di is equal to xi minus a. Step deviation method. We have another method to get rid from the calculations, that is, step deviation method. The formula of mean for step deviation method is assumed mean plus h multiplied by summation of the product of fi and ui divided by summation of fi, where a is assumed mean. We assumed the mean from the values of xi. H is the class size. ui is equal to xi minus a divided by h. Example. Find the mean of the given data using assumed mean and step deviation method. Solution. First, we find the class mark for each class interval by using the formula. Class mark equals upper class limit plus lower class limit upon 2. Let assumed mean a is equal to 25, h equals 10. In the first column, we have written the class interval, and in the second column, we have written the frequency of the respective class interval. The sum of frequencies is 41. And then we have written the class mark for each class interval and denote them as xi. In the fourth column, we find the deviation from the assumed mean as di. In the fifth column, we find the deviation from the assumed mean divided by the class size as ui. In the sixth column, we find the product of fi and di, and their sum is minus 40. In the seventh column, we find the product of Fi and Ui, and their sum is -4. And then we find the mean using assumed mean method by using the formula assumed mean plus summation of the product of Fi and Di divided by summation of Fi. 25 plus -40 by 41. 25 minus 0.98. 24.02. After this, we find the mean using step deviation method by using the formula assumed mean plus h multiplied by summation of the product of Fi and Ui divided by summation of Fi. 25 plus -4 by 41 multiplied by 10. 25 minus 0.98. 24.02.
For more such videos on all subjects, practice questions and a lot more, download iPrep and learn unlimited.